I think am I older? You're probably older than you, right?
Maybe, probably.
It just seems like nowadays people are more open to these kinds of endings, like with this, especially this one. I personally think people are going to love it. I never saw it before. Some of you guys had seen it before in black and white. I hadn't seen it before, and when I put it on for the first time, I was, I'd work in doing other stuff, and I put everything down. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I was completely enthralled by it. It's great.
Well, I think I'm hoping the audience today will be able to look at this as what it is, not take it so personal. Like there was a period there, all movies had to have the happy ending, where, like Frank was saying, people fell in love with the characters, and then, oh my God, you can't kill them. I think, not that people are more educated now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think they're open-minded more to see the film and the storyline as it was meant to be, and go with the campiness of it. It's a great piece.
Yeah, it is campy. That's the thing about it. Is it's all those faces looking up. And
right.
It's stylized in a wonderful way. But works. I know from working on Broadway musicals where you have a problem and you try to fix it, and you try to fix it, and you try to fix it, and sometimes you can't fix it, and you go, oh, okay, this is something intrinsically, and it can be years until you figure out what. Like I had that show, I had 2 shows this year, one hit and one flop. The other one was called Leap of Faith.
Right.
Nobody came. Nobody wanted to come see it to begin with, and I'm not. It's. You go, okay, what was it? This was. You could say, well, was it marketing? Is it concept? Is it a misdirect of subject matter and audience? Is it? What is it? What is the issue about this?
Is it religion? Do you think?
Well, I think in the case of that one, it's the fact that it was a very nuanced piece, and it. I'm not even clear entirely what it's saying, because it's saying 2 things. It's both about belief and it's also about manipulation. And but the thing is, you can know what your intentions are and put something out there, and then people don't like it. Or I don't know if you have this experience. You put out something, and you go, "Oh, it's okay," and people go, "I love that." And you go, "Oh, they love it. They love it." And you go, "What? Oh, really?" And then you can figure out, "Oh, what did I do right there?"
What are your what could you think of a project of yours of in your esteemed catalog of work that you've done that you thought was, this is very fine, yet it went through the roof in a way that you wouldn't have anticipated?
Well, Newsies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always thought Newsies was good and fun, but it's something else has happened here. I tend to think, I think I contributed to it, but there's a lot more going on there, whether it's those boys or whatever.
Or vice versa, or something that...
Well, vice versa has been lots of vice versa.
But any film I've ever worked on, anything capacity, editing or whatever, for me, I fall in love with it. Sometimes I get too close, and I have to step back. But really, to me, the point of reality is when I hear the crowd in the audience watch it. Okay, here we go.
Isn't it that moment when a show opens, and I was in love with, I did this thing called King David, which opened the New Amsterdam Theater. I was in love with that thing. I thought it was so great. Tim Rice and I, and these epic songs and this epic story, and then the critics came in, and I guess I sort of shifted to watching it from their perspective. I went, oh, wow, it's really kind of overblown, and it's really kind of, you sort of, all of a sudden you go, oh, they're not going to like it, and it was like a bloodbath. And I spent years trying to figure out how to fix it. But sometimes you get a sense of how to do something, and it's, Howard and I, when we first wrote Little Shop, before we came up with the idea of doing it 50s rock and roll, did a version of it that was much truer to the Corman movie. We had a song, and the plant went, "Feed me, I'm hungry, feed me, I'm starving, feed me." Fading and fast moving me, you moron. You know, and it was kind of like that kind of, I don't know, I hate to have to describe the style of the Corman movie and the style of the music, but it's, you know, it's kind of tacky, but not tacky hip.
I think it's funny.
It is funny, but
I like
but it didn't work. We also had, so when it's time to pick a pet flower, who's the shrub we love? Who's our potted plant of the hour? Who's our bush when push comes to shove? Who rakes in that cash, those kudos? Look, my who came through. Not Audrey Hepburn or Audrey Wood, though both those ladies are well and good. They're dismal failures beside the wonderful Audrey, too. Audrey, 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 too.
When do we get that album?
Yeah, really. Can you do an uncut of all your uncut, you know, all the songs that never made it to all your shows as a show?
Really?
That would be something.
It would be endless.
Oh,
Start releasing a volume every year.
Every show has a shadow score.
really?
I mean, some of them have shadow scores that are, you know, 3 times the length of the actual show itself.
So who could produce that?
Well,
Disney?
no one's going to produce that. I don't think.
Why
I mean,
not?
yes, one could. It's like, you know, you see these artists who put out these albums. I think Billy Joel did one, like Songs from the Attic. You know, and the truth is, and I'm sure it's wonderful songs, but for the most part, it's the songs on the main floor that people are that work that you get out there, and the rest is just process.
Still, when you get to a point, a songwriter like yourself, that
it's
has,
fun. Yeah, it can be fun.
and with you know, people know your work and the curio factor.
But the stuff does get out there. Like there's a song "Will Up Tomorrow" that was cut at the last minute from the show. It's a big ballad for Seymour and Audrey, and it's actually it is one of the additional tracks on the Broadway album of Little Shop. You know, it's on there. And I always broke my heart that we cut that song, but Act 2 could not support two ballads, and suddenly Seymour was the one that was going to stay. Or on Aladdin, a song called "Proud of Your Boy," which now is in the show. But so these songs do tend to get out there. In Hercules, there was a song, the original ballad before "Go the Distance" was a song called "Shooting Star," which I loved. Oh my God, it was such a beautiful song, and gorgeous Danny True orchestration, and Roger Bart sang it. And
I was glad when Human Again.
Human Again, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of we go to these things and you know, bring them back in. There's songs that would fit right back into the movie if we tried to include the scenes. There was a song called "A Little Dental Music." You're in Oren's waiting room. And it goes, "A little dental music, strings a strumming, flutes a trilling, numbing minds and calming nerves, while steps away the beast is drilling. Music in the lobby," and it's sung by the urchins, "help the patients to ignore the fact that writhing agony waits right behind the door." Da da da, and then you hear da 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 da, Montavani, Castellanets, da 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 da, Ferranti and Teicher. Lo, the Mormon tabernacle sings. The sounds of pain are muted by 1,000 living strings. Da 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 da. You know, it's like these songs you write them, and but the key to succeeding is don't get attached to them. Just write them and cut them as you need to cut them and keep them.
Ruthless. I guess you have to be.
But my daughter's school, my daughter's school, they did a production of Little Shop, and I let them put a little dental music in.
Oh, wow.
That must have been brutal.
There's the schoolgirl taking advantage of her daddy.
You betcha.
I think that's it.